So I started in care, as I said, 14 years ago, and I started as a support worker, working with the elderly, working in dementia care, working with people with learning disabilities, and then over the years I've worked my way up to management positions, and then about 9 years ago I became a trainer, and I've been training now for 9 years. Typical day for me starts with getting up about 6:30. I get my little boy ready. We then take him to nursery. He goes to nursery on the days where I come into work. Then I come here, I deliver, as I said, deliver some training, and that typically is around leadership, management, it's around recruitment, bringing compassion back into the care industry, and general leadership skills for newly appointed managers. I love to give something back to the care industry. I really enjoy being able to give people the information they need to go back and skill up their workforce and raise the quality of care within Hertfordshire. My work-life balance is pretty good. It's very flexible, so I'm able to choose the days where I want to work. Obviously it's built around the training needs, but I work 3 days a week typically. Sometimes I'll do 4 days a week, but I am, as I said, fairly flexible with being able to work either Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or back end of the week. Sometimes if I have to go home if my little one's ill, I am able to take some work home, but generally it's fairly flexible around my needs. I would definitely recommend the care industry for mums and dads. There are plenty of flexible working hours, different days of the week. You know, people can work weekends, evenings, nights, days, so there's definitely shift patterns to suit everybody, and generally people work around people with young children. I think that it's a really growing industry in the care sector, and there's definitely a job for everybody, depending on whether you want to deliver hands-on care, whether you'd like to move into leadership or even do training. It's also a stepping stone for people to move up into nursing or out into the community, so I think there's definitely something for everybody in the care industry.
I came into the care sector because I'd been working in some very mundane jobs for a long period of time, and I just felt that I wanted something that would give me something back. When I first came to work in a care home, I was actually 40 years old, and I just wanted to give something a go and that I hadn't tried before, and to do something worthwhile, and feel that I've achieved something, not just for myself but for other people. When I was a child growing up, my father wanted me to be a teacher and my mother wanted me to be a nurse, but I wanted to leave school and do my own thing, and I went to college. I went to the London College of Fashion. I worked for Sandra Rhodes in the summer when I was at college and stuff like that. But I got married very young. I went through a divorce. Of course, got a lot of life skills behind me before I actually walked through the door of a care home. But a lot of those life skills I've found very useful in my role as deputy manager, and also I feel that I've achieved both my parents' wishes, even though they're not here to see it. What I enjoy most about my job would probably be the fact that actually every day is different. You never get to the point where you feel it's Groundhog Day. Every day is a new start. Every day brings new challenges. Every day brings different things to do. I enjoy the interaction between the staff. I enjoy training the staff. I very much enjoy the engagement with the residents and the families. It's actually quite an honour and a privilege to do what I do. For me, it's a major privilege to look after the elderly, support people with their dementia, support the families. So that's on a day-to-day basis. I always go home and think, I've made something happen today, and that's been something to be really proud of. If someone has retired early and they want to start a career, another kind of job role, I'd say go for it. We do a lot of training here at St Andrews anyway to give people the tools of their trade, and care in general is becoming much more recognised profession. But it's always in need of people with life skills and life experiences. So it doesn't matter what age people are, if it's a very new career or if it's somebody coming back to work, or if it's somebody who just wants some part-time hours, maybe doing some voluntary work. It's a very versatile profession to be in, and there's jobs for every age group.
When I retired, I didn't want to be doing nothing, so I contacted this organisation to find out what was available, because I wanted to remain doing something active and interesting, and something in care was what I was actually after, because I like all the interaction. I like feeling that whatever I'm doing is actually making some sort of positive contribution. Today's event is something that's been organised for people who are living in their own homes with support, so they've come along today, and you can see the sorts of things that are going on, and that's really interesting. The sorts of things that I do would be to go into some residential setting and take a lot of plant material and things with me, so that people can actually, it's a tabletop exercise, but things where people can actually touch and feel the compost, plant things, discuss herbs, smells. It brings back lots of memories of growing and cooking, and then to actually plant something that's going to be ongoing, so that you can sort of watch and keep an eye on that. And I think that's the sort of thing that I do, and that's a thoroughly enjoyable exercise for the people involved, and certainly for myself. We're certainly welcomed in the residential settings that we go to, because it is really nice for people to be active and to do things that bring back memories, and also allow people to use the skills they already have, because people don't want to lose the skills they have, and they don't want to become less dexterous and less able to continue to use what they know and what they can do. Yeah, I think there are lots of opportunities for people who have recently retired or who have retired to find all sorts of interesting outlets for their energy and for their experience, because obviously people at the end of their working life have gained a lot of experience, which is a shame to just put to one side. So I think if they look carefully, they can find something. Almost everybody could find something on some level that they'd be able to contribute.
I've always wanted to have a job within health and social care, and I think it's just personal situations that I've been in, like with family and stuff, that's just made me want to be able to continue being able to make a difference to someone else's and other families' lives. When I first started at Jubilee House, I had the mandatory training, which I was on for 2 weeks, and still having courses now, which helped to link in with some of the apprenticeship work, with some assignments and phone meetings with the knowledge that I needed. In the week it can be up to doing puzzles, watching TV, having a chat, arts and crafts, beauty. We go out to the cinema, bowling, parks, zoo, theatres, any sort of activities they like to do, we try to get arranged at a time. So weekends would be the most times when we go out, and in the summer when it's better weather to be able to go out and enjoy them walks around the parks. The thing I like most about my job is being able to know that you're making a real difference in their lives, even if it is just sitting around chatting to them, because they see that as a big thing, whereas some people might not. So it's just such a good thing that you know that whatever you do is highly appreciated by them and their families. Just actually caring for people, understanding them and not seeing the disability and actually seeing the person that they are. So listening to them and being able to help them as much as you can. They treat you as if you're one of their best friends. They don't see you as staff that's looking after them. It's a feeling that's quite unexplainable, because it's such a good feeling to have, that you're doing something that no one else really can at times, and for their day-to-day lives of just helping them, even if it is just having that chat with them or supporting them in other ways that they may need some help, just to show, because the appreciation that you get from them is just lovely.